Hi there, Mike. I'm here with my 338th Booktube video, and today I'll be bringing you a review for Beast Speaker by Adrian Tchaikovsky. This is book 3 of the Dogs of War series. That's a trilogy at the moment. I don't know if we're going to get a fourth one featuring Dragon as the main character. I say that because in the original Dogs of War we had a dog, a bear, a distributed intelligence of bees, and a reptilian sniper thing, which is sort of part lizard, part snake, part crocodile, referred to as a dragon. Now, in the original Dogs of War, we followed the dog mostly. In Bearhead, we followed the bear mostly. In Beast Speaker, we sort of follow bees in a way. They're like central to the plot, if anything else. So I'll be really interested to see if we get a fourth book with more of a focus on a dragon. Although we do get a good innings with a dragon in this one. Now, this one is set quite a bit later after the second book, following on for the events from that. And I can't really say much about this book without doing spoilers. So if you haven't read books 1 and 2, might be worth going away and reading those first, because I'm going into spoiler territory. I don't think there's any way of doing this without it, because effectively at the end of book 2, there was a civilization-ending war on Earth. Humanity isn't exactly wiped out, but we're certainly thrust into a post-apocalyptic world. Now, by this time, Mars has also been settled, and they receive a signal asking for help from bees on Earth. And the story starts with our group of 4. We've got 2 humans, a dog and a dragon land on Earth to go provide assistance. And when the story starts, we're dealing with the aftermath of the leader, one of the 2 humans, having been murdered. The other human, Ada, is woefully unprepared for the tougher gravity of Earth. Even with a specially constructed exoskeleton, she still can barely breathe, can barely walk. The reptile is all up for killing everybody they meet. And the dog, although having been overstimulated with all the senses and sensations and that Earth provides that she didn't get on Mars, feels like it's entirely her fault that their leader got killed. And so with these 3 numbskulls just trying to get it together and find a clue, meanwhile we follow some inhabitants of Earth, particularly a monk going by the name of Cricket, who lives at the apiary under the leadership and protection of bees, and he's the first to discover the body of the Martian leader. And of course the hapless trio intervene, do a few things, get them alongside of the local raiders, known as the Griffins, who live in a bunker, think like Silo or Fallout, one of those apocalyptic shelter things. As we have the politics of the factory which builds dogs on Earth, we have the bunker with the Griffins, and we have the apiary, and we have, well, somebody called for help. Where are they? Where's bees? And who killed our leader? So there's a bit of a whodunit, a lot of a mystery, and a lot of just fumbling about in the dark, as nobody knows what the other lot are trying to do, or where they're from, or what they're doing, or anything. Because even the dog from Mars has been so augmented for a Martian terrain that, to poor Cricket, she's a terrifying monster. It's like a bat, spider, bear thing to his eyes. So the story sort of unfolds from there. And like how Bearhead was very, very different in tone and feel to Dogs of War, Beast Speaker again feels very different to the first 2 books. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the mystery. I kind of guessed who had done it, but not why. And a lot of the why was actually quite mind-blowing, really. And a huge thing happens as a result of the why, which is really cool and terrifying. There's also revelations as well, particularly about the Griffins, which I thought was particularly grim and dark, as well as a surprise appearance by a character who is featured in the first 2 books as well. Not counting bees, of course. And for someone who liked bees in the first book, Dogs of War, and thought bees was a bit standoffish, annoying in the second one, in Bearhead, bees is very absent from the majority of this book. Now, a lot of the question is, where is bees? Is bees okay? And some things unfold not in the way you expect, which I love. I love it when a story takes a slightly different direction to the usual well-trodden path. I certainly think Dogs of War Book 1 is the best of the 3 so far. I've really, really enjoyed that one. And I don't know if it's because I listened to it on Audible and I thought the narration, with the fact that we had different voices for each of the characters, really sold it to me. Or because it was a more straightforward story, I don't know. But I would say this one's certainly on par with Bearhead, but for very different reasons. Like I say, they're 3 very different stories. I mean, they're barely the same series, really. They're so disjointed in terms of this book is for this lot, featuring these characters. This book has completely different characters, with some of the same ones, but in a totally different setting. And then this book, again, completely different characters to a degree. Again, in a completely different setting and time. I mean, time has progressed quite a lot since the original book. You do need to read them in order. None of them are standalone particularly, although there's not a huge amount riding on what happened before, so you could almost get away with reading this without having read the first two. But it helps having done so. But yeah, I certainly got Fallout vibes from this, or any other of those post-apocalyptic, Mad Max style, gangs of raiders, a weird religious sect, and there's always some sort of weird factory thing that's churning out something, in this case, bioengineered dogs. I can't really say anything I didn't like about it. Like I said, apart from I preferred book one, yeah, I really enjoyed this. Took longer to read it than I wanted to have done, but that's because I've been so bloody tired. But I would say he's done it again, another solid trilogy. Children of Time, The Final Architecture, and now Dogs of War. I know book 4, Children of Time's coming out soon. I've got the Ark to read, which I'm very looking forward to, but it was a trilogy when I read it as a trilogy. Yeah, solid, worth buying, and very interested to see if we do get a book 4 featuring dragons more prominently. And I really appreciate the dragon in this, named Ire, and it really was pivotal in a lot of the scenes. And I really liked it. I just don't give a crap about anything here, to be honest. I'd rather just kill everybody and be done with it. Sort of attitude. And of course, there's a very different type of dragon now by the third book than we had with the original dragon in the first book. So, have you read any of Dogs of War? What did you think of them? What's your favourite book of the 3? Let me know in the comment section down below, but as usual, if there's nothing nice to say, then please give it yourself. Thank you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and other YouTube things if you want. Until next time, see you later.